Welcome to SJS Arts. So today I'm gonna do this video that I promised, where I'm gonna talk about directors who I really like but aren't quite favorites yet, but I feel like they have a high chance of becoming favorites in the near future after I maybe watch more of their films or after I maybe rewatch some of their films that I already really like, but maybe I don't quite absolutely love them yet. Yeah, we have quite a few directors here, so I cannot spend that much time with each director. But I'll talk about each one a bit. So we are going to start with the one that has a very high chance of becoming one of my favorites soon. I'm liking his stuff more and more the more I watch it. And I feel like after I also rewatch some of the films that I have seen quite a while ago, I think I'm gonna like them even more now. So the first director is Roberto Rossellini, one of the great Italian masters. One of my viewers, Tony Soprano, who never had the makings of a varsity athlete, he always talks about Roberto Rossellini very highly, and he actually calls him God Cellini. That's how much he loves him. But Tony Soprano, kind of, by the way, I'm just playing around, but he has talked about Rossellini again a lot in the comments, and that kind of inspired me earlier this year to watch this film, Europa 51, which I ended up absolutely loving. And I'm actually going to talk about this film a bit more in depth in another upcoming video, so I'm not going to talk about it here much, but I'll just say that this film absolutely blew me away, and then it kind of got me into a Rossellini mood, or God Cellini mood. Yeah. And then I kind of got really interested in these films that he made about famous philosophers. So I watched this one, Blaise Pascal, and I really enjoyed this one. And then a couple days ago, I watched Socrates, which is another one that I really enjoyed. I mean, I don't think these are quite favorites yet, but they're very near favorites, just like Rossellini is a very near favorite director. Then, obviously, I've seen the War trilogy, which are all three films that I think are really great films, and I feel like when I rewatch them soon, I think I will probably love them even more as they have really stuck with me after I've watched them. Yeah. And then also Tony has recommended me this one, The Taking of Power by Louis XIV. So this one I'm gonna watch soon, and I hope that I'm gonna love it. Actually, I've heard that this is like the Barry Lyndon before Barry Lyndon came out, so that has me excited. Yeah. This one I also really like, and I think I've only given this 4 stars, but I remember thinking about when I watched it that it may have deserved even a higher rating. So I feel like this film has a high chance of becoming a favorite after a rewatch as well. Again, I often have those films that I really like, but they maybe there is like a 5% missing there, so they don't quite become favorites, but then they often become favorites after rewatches. And at this point in my life, when I've been watching these films for years, I kind of can predict these type of stuff quite well now. Yeah, although of course the predictions aren't always right, but they quite often are. Then I'm really excited to watch this one too, General della Rovere. I'm not sure where this is available, but I'm very excited for it. This I own on Blu-ray, so I'm gonna watch this soon, and this is on the Criterion channel, so I'm gonna watch this soon, and then all the other philosopher stuff I'm gonna watch soon as well. So I'm pretty sure that again after I just watch more and rewatch more, that he will become one of my favorites. Again, I like his style, or you could say even lack of style. Again, there's some similarities with him and Bresson. I feel like especially his films on the philosophers kind of remind me a bit of Bresson, where there is kind of all the typical stuff that you see in films that's kind of been taken away, and it's just focuses on the bare essentials. That's kind of similar to Bresson, and I love Bresson as you guys know. So yeah, but this one I'm like pretty much dead certain about that he will become one of my favorites. But yeah, who knows? Again, I might hate all the films that I haven't seen yet, so you never know. But I just have a very strong feeling about this. Then we have Pedro Costa. This might be a bit too early to say because I've only seen three films, but two of those three films kind of became instant favorites. So that kind of gives me kind of an suspicion that he might very well become one of my favorites, especially as many of these films that I haven't seen yet are like very highly rated films by people whose tastes I really like. So In Vanda's Room and Colossal Youth. These are on the Criterion channel and I'm gonna be watching them soon. So I feel like if I love both of these films, then he probably is already a favorite director of mine. But I now really love Vitalina Varela and Horse Money. So these are already favorites. Then I've also seen Ossos, which I thought was a very powerful film, but I need to rewatch this one. Then again, many of these ones that I haven't seen, like Casa de Lava and this one, they just sound really good and like my cup of tea. And I absolutely love Costa's um, visual aesthetic, and I love the themes that he explores. Again, he shows these very vulnerable people, and you get lots of themes about, I think, things like alienation and, well, Vitalina Varela and Horse Money also had themes about immigration and the horrors experience that immigrants can have, and things like that. So yeah, these are very interesting films to me, and I think there's a high chance that he will become a favorite of mine, but we'll see. We'll see. Then we have Marguerite Duras, and I've seen seven of her films. India Song is, I think, one of the biggest masterpieces of cinema history. This is a big favorite of mine. I've watched it a couple of times. Criterion released it recently, and it's on the Criterion channel currently, as as is Baxter Vera Baxter. This I actually watched a few years ago before it was restored, so it was in like 360p copy, but I really liked it. But now I'm kind of planning to rewatch it on the Criterion channel with a better print, and I kind of feel like this film might become a favorite of mine after that, as it's already a kind of near favorite. And again, sometimes that some like restoration might be enough to make something a favorite. Yeah. This one I remember really liking, and yeah, again, some of these are on YouTube, even the ones that I haven't seen. So yeah, and some of these are short films as well. But again, all the ones that I have seen have been good. Yeah, very interesting, very challenging films. Again, there's usually narration there that I think many people would find pretentious, but I don't. Yeah, she has a great visual sense to her, and there's this kind of mysterious vibe about her films that I really enjoy. And obviously, Dura was one of the most important French authors of the 20th century as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to reading her books too. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Dura became a favorite of mine in the near future after I do some rewatching and some watching. Yeah, but this I'm a bit less certain about than Rossellini and Costa. Yeah, but if Baxter Vera Baxter becomes a favorite after the rewatch, then I will be more confident. But we'll see. We'll see. But I would highly recommend you to check out her works. Yeah, I feel like she's a bit underappreciated in the cinephile circles. Again, India Song is one film that is very respected, but I think overall her oeuvre It's quite underrated and underseen. Yeah. Then, well, this is also one of the ones that I'm like really certain about that he will become a favorite. So it's Car Theodor Dreyer. We haven't watched any of his films lately, but these two are already favorites of mine. The Passion of Joan of Arc, of course, and then Or Death. I think these are kind of divine level masterpieces that I really love. But then I've also liked all the other features that I've seen by him. So Vampire is really good. Day of Wrath, I think is a near favorite. Gertrude is really great too, and could become a favorite after a rewatch. Master of the House, I think, is a bit underrated. I think this was really ahead of its time. Again, it's a silent film, obviously, it's from the mid 20s, but the subject matter and how it's dealt with, I think, feels like it's kind of ahead of its time, and I really love this silent film. This one I haven't seen yet, Michael. This one I haven't seen yet, The Parson's uh, Widow. This one I'm really excited to watch. Leaves from Satan's Book. It sounds really interesting. Again, many of these shorts I have watched through the BFI box set. But yeah, again, I feel like that after I rewatch these big films and maybe watch a couple of the films that I haven't seen yet, that it's almost 100% certain that he will become a favorite of mine. Because I think there's a high chance that this will become a favorite film of mine after I rewatch them. And then again, there are a couple of films that are already favorites. So yeah, I really love Dreyer. I like his quite minimal style. There's topics that he covers in his films, like religion, spirituality, and many other things. I really enjoy that. Again, this is one of the early gay films as well. Obviously, it will be very different to kind of more modern gay films, but I'm very excited to watch this one. I'm really surprised that I haven't watched it actually yet, but yeah, with Dreyer, I'm really certain that he will become a favorite. But who knows? There is always a small chance that he might not become a favorite. Yeah. Then we have a Korean director that I've talked about a bit recently when I recommended Three Iron, but it's Kim Ki-duk. So these two films are all-time favorites: Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring. And Three Iron is like a very top-level favorite for me. Yeah. But then I've seen three other films by him, which is Piata was the last one I watched. I think it might have been earlier this year or late last year. But a really, really, really good film. And this one is one that I feel like might become a favorite because this is already a very near favorite. It's a very, very weird film, quite disturbing film in many ways. This one I would, by the way, highly recommend to people. I really think more people should talk about this film. It's very interesting. So again, if this, for example, after a rewatch becomes a favorite, and then if I like a couple of the films that I haven't seen yet, I think he would already then be one of my favorites. Yeah, and I think maybe I didn't mention Samaritan Girl yet, but this is another one that I have seen, and it's very good. So these five are the ones that I have seen. But again, this stuff that I haven't seen yet sounds very interesting to me, so I'm very excited to watch his stuff. Again, I think these are pretty poorly available in terms of like physical media, but you can usually find these in like some websites online and stuff, and sometimes these are streaming again in places, and sometimes these have been on YouTube as well. Yeah. This one is often in one of like Finnish streaming services. I don't think it's currently there, but I think I've seen it sometimes, although it isn't relevant for you guys. Yeah. But I think I watched this on YouTube like years ago, so yeah. But again, I like Kim Ki-duk's very, very unique style. He has these very weird characters in his films, which I really appreciate. I feel like he often kind of tackles subject and characters that again other directors don't tackle, and he isn't afraid to be very provocative. Yeah. And I think he often likes to also explore characters who don't really talk much, like in Three Iron and also in The Isle, I think. Yeah. But yeah, wonderful director. I mean, he's already like a very top tier Korean director for me and very close to being one of my favorites. So we'll see. We'll see. Then we have Mikhail Kalatozov. So I've seen these three masterpieces. I think all these three are masterpieces. Especially Letter Never Sent for me is like a top 50 level favorite. I've seen it a couple of times and it's just one of those truly magical films. Again, it's all about the visuals, those unbelievable visuals in the Siberian forests. Again, it's one of those films where you just like literally don't believe what you are seeing because it's the cinematography. It's just in a divine level. Like I don't know how they pulled that off, like without CGI and stuff. Yeah, it's so beautiful. There are lots of haunting moments here, like in the end when a character is um laying on the snow. You know the scene if you have seen the film. But this is actually on YouTube if you want to see it in very good quality as well. But a total masterpiece. Then I also love The Cranes Are Flying, one of the best films of the 1950s. Again, God tier cinematography by the same cinematographer. So these two are favorites, and then I Am Cuba. It's not quite a favorite yet, but I consider it to be a masterpiece because it's just again the technical prowess. I think it also has the same cinematographer and looks absolutely insane and good. A very interesting film in general. Again, a propaganda film, and I know Ronin has talked about some of these others. Again, he when he watched Letter Never Sent, he kind of went into a Kalatozov rabbit hole, and I think Ronin said lots of good things about the other ones. So I think again, if I like the other films, I think he will probably become a favorite of mine. We'll see, we'll see. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say. I don't know that much about the other films. Then we have Miklós Jancsó, great Hungarian director. Again, another big visual master. Um, I'm, I'm constantly getting notifications for some reason. That's why I'm looking there like three YouTube notifications in like 2 minutes. Like I usually don't get them like in that kind of regularity that they are just coming like every second. But anyway, um, but yeah, I think these two films, The Red and the White, which I rewatched recently, and The Roundup are complete masterpieces. Again, Miklós Jancsó's films are very political. He has explored things like again war and communism and authoritarianism and different ideologies and stuff. And he has a very methodical visual style, very beautiful shots in all of his films that I have seen. And again, that's something that really pulls me in to his films. Yeah, so I've also seen Electro My Love, which is great and definitely could become a favorite after a rewatch. But then I haven't seen the others, so again, it's a, kind of a question mark whether the others will be as good. But I really excited to watch Red Psalm, for example, and this one, The Confrontation. Well, all of these basically. Yeah. So if there are maybe like one or two more masterpieces, he will probably then become a favorite already. Yeah. What a great director. What a great director. Then we have a couple of Taiwanese directors. So we have Hou Hsiao-hsien. Again, he has made so many great films. I have to watch quite a lot of them still, but I've seen 8 of them. My favorite being Millennium Mambo. This to me is one of the best films of the 21st century. Recently has gotten a restoration, so I'm looking forward to seeing the restoration. Hopefully sometime in the future. This one I haven't seen yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. Apparently it's very good. This one is a masterpiece too. Again, I saw it in a really bad print, but it has got the restored recently, just like the Puppet Master, and I think they will be in the cinemas next year with the new restorations, and then probably will come out on Blu-ray in the sometime like in the next couple of years, which is very exciting. Flowers of Shanghai is a wonderful film. This one I haven't seen yet, but I've heard lots of great things. This is great. This is great. This one I have ready to go. Again, the Puppet Master is apparently very good, but I haven't seen it. Daughter of the Nile is very good. This one I own, but haven't watched it yet. This one apparently is good, and so is this one. This one, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was kind of pedestrian compared to the other ones. Again, I think this was his first film, maybe, or one of the first ones. And this one I also own, so yeah. But again, a very consistent director from what I've seen, and again, he makes these kind of, I think, again, slice of life type of films for the most part, where not that much happens, but the characters are very interesting and in a simple but humane way. And then again, his visual style is just immaculate. It's just kind of just like my preferred style. So I very much enjoy his film from the visual standpoint. Yeah, yeah, what a great director. I don't have that much to say about him. I think again there is not that much on the surface on his films, but most of the themes are under the surface. Yeah, and I think I again need to watch more and also rewatch them to understand them better. But I already really like them, and I can have a feeling that Hou Hsiao-hsien will become a favorite at some point. Maybe not in the near future, but definitely at some point. Yeah, and please give us this one on Blu-ray. Apparently it's coming. It's been rumored, but I just need this one on my shelf. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind the Blu-ray just having this poster as the cover. I think this is a nice poster. Yeah. Then again, Edward Yang, Hou Xiaoshen's contemporary. Yeah, too bad he died fairly young. Well, I mean, he was 60, I guess, when you look. So not that young, but again, he could have lived to be older. And Yi Yi was his last film. But he didn't make that many films, but the ones that I have seen have all been great. So I've seen these four and this one, Confusion, Confusion. Yi Yi is the only one at the moment that is on my favorites list. I've watched it a couple of times and it's a total masterpiece. Again, one of the best films of the 21st century. Terrorizer, I think, is a pretty much a masterpiece as well as is A Brighter Summer Day. And I think again these will very likely become favorites after rewatch or two. But we'll see. Taipei Story I thought was a great movie as well, so it very well become a favorite too. Confusion is my least favorite so far, although it might have been just because the print was like shit. So yeah, I couldn't kind of see all the details and stuff because it looked so bad in the print. I've kind of heard that again these might be restored or maybe they already have been restored. So we might be getting some of these on Blu-ray or 4K in the future, which is great. Again, these two I haven't seen yet. Apparently they are very good, and again I don't know about these short films and stuff, but yeah. Again, Edward Yang could very well become a favorite of mine. But due to his fairly small filmography, I don't think he would become like a top 20 favorite or anything like that, but he might become like a, you could say, lower tier favorite. Yeah. Again, another director who makes these great slice of life films. Yeah. With absolutely immaculate cinematography. Then we have Xavier Dolan as the last one. Again, I explored some of his films last year. So I Killed My Mother and Lawrence anyways kind of became instant favorites. I absolutely loved them and I really connected with them in a very deep emotional level. Can't wait to rewatch them hopefully soon. Yeah, again I love his use of music and I love he's well, like a very mature director even though he started making films when he was really young and I think this he got made when he was again 20 years old. It's a very, very mature film. say with this one, absolutely amazing, like I said. But I actually haven't seen his most famous film, Mummy, yet, but this seems to be a film that pretty much everybody loves, so hopefully I will like it too. And this one I have ready to go, Tom at the Farm. Sounds really good. This one I watched Heartbeats. Good 4 out of 5 film. Not as good as these two, but still good. Again, I think this is one of the directors that maybe has a lesser chance of becoming a favorite, at least yet. But again, he's so young, so he will probably make a lot more films in his life. So he might become a favorite eventually, but it's not a sure thing. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to watching these other ones that I haven't seen yet and rewatching the ones that I have already seen. But anyway, that's it for the video again. Not too many thoughts about these because there were so many directors to cover. But let me know what you think of these directors and if you have seen any of their films and do you like them or not. And also let me know about directors that you are already kind of like, but they aren't your favorites yet, but you kind of have a feeling that they might become favorites. I don't know if other people kind of keep a list of like near favorites. I kind of have a huge list of near favorite films in my head, near favorite albums and near favorite directors. So again, I don't think it's a unique thing to me, but I don't know how many people actually think about near favorites, or do you people use the word near favorite? Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't drink all the coke and ciao.